My name is Maria. For months ago, I was sitting on a sunny balcony in Hilton Head Island, seeing my mother laugh for the first time in 21 years. But a text from an unknown number shattered the false warmth. Fly home. Don't say anything to your mother and brother. Those words sent a chill down my spine. 12 hours later, I found myself at Hartford Bradley Airport. A man in a gray suit held a sign with my name. Beside him were two police officers. What they revealed in that conference room was so shocking that I don't even remember fainting. I just recall waking up under the fluorescent lights with a paramedic asking me to count backward from 10. It all started when I was 12. I lived in a small town in Texas with my overly strict mother, Clara, and my selfish older brother, Jake. One evening, I came home with a permission slip for a school picnic. I needed a signature and $5. When I entered the kitchen, I saw my mother on the phone, speaking in a cold and detached tone. "It's done. She's out tonight." I had no idea who she was talking to. After hanging up, she looked at me as if I were a nuisance. "Pack your things," she ordered. I thought she meant for the picnic and even smiled. Then Jake, standing at the top of the stairs, sneered, "You're leaving. For good." My mother opened the door, and it was pouring rain. She threw a trash bag at me and said, "Go. Don't come back." No explanations, no kindness. I walked for miles in the rain. My shoes were soaking wet, and the bag ripped, causing my books to fall into a puddle. Finally, I reached my grandfather's house. He was an old war veteran named Henry. He didn't ask questions. He just hugged me tightly and said, "You're safe now." For the next few years, my grandfather's small house was my only refuge. He never mentioned my mother and brother. There were small signs that he was hiding something. Every few months, a man in a gray suit would visit. They would talk in the study with the door closed. When I asked, Grandpa just said he was an old friend helping with paperwork. My grandmother, Rose, was a sweet and gentle woman. She taught me to bake pies, knitted me warm scarves, and read me bedtime stories. But when I was 16, she passed away from a heart attack. After that, the house felt a lot colder, but Grandpa still did his best for me. 3 weeks before I started college, my grandfather died in his sleep. At the funeral, my mother and brother showed up. My mother wore a black dress and a fake sad expression, while my brother whispered to me, "Grandpa left nothing for you." After the service, the man in the gray suit, whose name was Mr. Harris, gave me a sealed envelope and said, "Your grandfather asked me to give this to you when the time is right. But not now." I went to college on scholarships and part-time jobs. I studied business at a local university and later moved to New York City to start my own company. I built a successful startup that connected small businesses with investors. By the time I was 30, my company was worth millions. One night, I received a call from my mother. She said she had terminal cancer and wanted us to have a family reunion in Hilton Head Island. She apologized repeatedly, but her words sounded insincere. I was hesitant, but I remember my grandfather's kind smile. I decided to go, but I booked my own flight and hotel room. When I arrived at the resort, my mother and brother seemed overly friendly. My brother, who is now a failed real estate agent, kept asking about my financial situation. I started to get suspicious when I received texts from an unknown number warning me. On the last day of my supposed family vacation, my brother brought a document to breakfast, claiming it was a family trust agreement. I realized it was a trap that would give him control of all my grandfather's assets. I refused to sign and sent the document to my lawyer in New York. Then came the text that changed everything. "Fly home. Don't say anything to your mother and brother." I was torn between trusting this stranger and my own family. In the end, I chose to trust the unknown text. At the airport in Hartford, Mr. Harris revealed the truth. My grandfather had left me his entire estate, worth about $3 million. My brother, who was in debt due to gambling, had discovered the will and, with my mother's approval, planned to kill me if I didn't sign the trust agreement. I was heartbroken but also determined. I decided not to seek revenge, but to expose the truth. With the help of Mr. Harris and a private investigator named MS. Green, we gathered evidence. My brother was arrested and later pleaded guilty to criminal solicitation. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison. My mother, although not charged due to lack of direct evidence, was ostracized by the community. Her lies and manipulation were finally exposed. 6 months after the trial, I turned my grandfather's old house into a shelter for young people who had been abandoned. I named it Henry's Haven in honor of my grandfather. It was filled with love, hope, and second chances. I've learned that family isn't always about blood. It's about the people who choose to stand by you, who love you unconditionally. I may not have a traditional family anymore, but I've built a new one with friends and the young people at Henry's Haven. I'm stronger now, and I'll always remember my grandfather's love and sacrifice.